Okay, I was not planning on filming today, but I just got a haircut today and I am like, it looks so. I want to start off this video by thanking the everyone who's been watching this video. I'm like so surprised that it's gotten this much of a response from like my 5 minute mess last week. My closet door, I'm gonna close that. Hold on. Nothing I was expecting whatsoever. Thank you so much for everybody who's saying they're looking forward to watching more of my videos and they like my personality. Like, thank you guys so much. That is so incredibly nice of you. I'm so excited about this channel. I wanted this next video to be a tag video that doesn't exist. Like I was gonna make it, and I did make it. I'm calling it the Graphic Novelties Tag, so I can talk about graphic novels because that is my jam right now. It's just a few questions. I guess I'll tag people at the end. I actually have like responses somewhat planned for this. Like I kind of leave that open space to wing it because we never really know what's gonna come out of my mouth. So that's always fun for people, right? And or at least fun for me. And I'm loosely using this to be like graphic novels or comics. So yeah. So the first question is, what was the first graphic novel I read? So the first book that I probably should have grabbed them first. So I guess we'll do like a thing where I go and get them. So I'm gonna go get it now. First graphic novel that I read. Well, it's not like really the first graphic novel that I've read, but it's the first one that I feel like I read. It's the earliest one I can remember. And that's really all we're trying to do in life, right? Remember things. But it would be Seconds by Brian Lee O'Malley. I am such a huge fan of his. He is like one of the biggest inspirations for me. I love his writing so much. It has definitely influenced my own. His art style is my all-time favorite. And so Seconds, I'll read the synopsis. That's a long summary. So it's this girl, Katie, and she's like late 20s, I think something like that. And at this point in her life, she's wanted to already own her own restaurant rather than work for someone else's. She encounters this spirit, I guess, who presents her with this mushroom and a like a notebook. And so you eat the mushroom, and in the notebook you write one thing in your past that you wish you could go back to change. And then you go to sleep, and then you wake up in that moment you wanted to change. And so Katie uses this to change things about her past, but she takes advantage of that, and she gets a hold of more mushrooms, and she gets caught up in changing a bunch of things, and it just really leads to screwing up the present, kind of just talking about like we all have those things we wish we changed in the past, but is that really, like, if we could actually do that, would that really be the best way for things to play out? So Seconds would be my first, and definitely also one of my favorites of the graphic novels that I've read. Question number 2 is, what is the last graphic novel that I've read? And this is where I'm going to switch into comics, and I'm going to get that right now. The last graphic novel I read was actually a trade paperback collecting the first 5 issues of the single issue comic series Snot Girl, written by Brian Lee O'Malley, and the art is by Leslie Hung. She does an incredible job. This series is very focused on characters' fashion, and Leslie Hung is incredible with that. Like, this is her talent. It is so good. And it works with Brian Lee O'Malley's writing style so well. I really enjoyed it. So the series follows Lottie Person, who is like this insta-famous fashion blogger. Like, everyone loves her and all that. Secretly, she has really, really bad allergies, which is basically like a very direct metaphor for how nothing is as perfect as it's portrayed via social media. Everything's a mess off camera. I promise you the same is very true for me as well, if I'm not even already a mess on camera. But the series follows Lottie and her life, and she and her group of friends that aren't really her group of friends, just more there for like the sake of a social life. They're also all fashion bloggers. And one day, she meets this incredible girl, Caroline, who is like perfectly fit to be her best friend. But something happens when the two of them go to a bar one night that involves the police. And so this series quickly shifts from slice of life of a fashion blogger to like throwing in elements of like a crime drama and like a murder mystery in there. I gotta say though, it's pretty sexist, and I just had a hard time with that because Brian Lee O'Malley is such an inspiration for me. It was hard to see something so not cool. Like the way the female characters are handled, because it's about fashion and social media, how social media isn't everything it's cracked up to be, and nothing is as perfect as as people present themselves. But he does that at the expense of his female characters. None of the female characters are allowed to be into fashion without being ditzy or shallow or just mean spirited as a whole. And that's not, those are very tired stereotypes and very harmful stereotypes because it portrays this image that like you can't be proud of your own image without being self-centered and narcissistic. And I didn't really appreciate that every female character in this story is like that. They all have an ulterior motive or a hidden agenda at other characters' expenses, and that wasn't fun to read. The series, it's hard. It was a fun series to read, but I am very aware of that sexism, and that wasn't cool at all. I'm also a firm believer of you can like a thing and still be critical of it, and the criticism does not take away from your enjoyment of the thing. I like Snot Girl. It's got problems. Sexism is one of them. Question 3. What is a graphic novel you are looking forward to reading? And this is, okay, this is where like I'm excited to answer it again, and I promise it's not going to fade to black. There are actually several, so I'm cheating here. I'm going to answer like 3 or 4 times, maybe like 2 or 3. I'm lying, 2 or 3. The first one is definitely one that I just ordered. I'm going to pick up the preview. Hold on. So I am a huge fan of Power Rangers, and it's only getting better from here, y'all. Oh my god. I can't. Okay. I love Power Rangers so much, but the show is obviously super cheesy and super corny, and I still love it. But it's really exciting for me that they're revamping it in this way that that gives it the not seriousness, but like that gives it the depth that this series really can have. Explored in Boom Studios' Power Rangers comic, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's a not a retelling. It uses the original characters from the first season of the TV show, and the series picks up right when Tommy, the Green Ranger, joins the team. This is a trade paperback collecting single issues. This takes a very interesting look into Tommy joining the team, because if you watched the show, or if you didn't watch the show, Tommy first joins the Rangers, and Rita Repulsa, the main villain at the time, she kind of controls him and makes him evil and has him fighting against them. But then they're able to save him, and he joins the team as a hero. So this comic book series picks up right after that, and it really delves into Tommy's like the psychology of this issue. He has a lot of PTSD from being controlled by Rita, and he's trying to handle that while also still balancing being a hero, while also doubting himself, his own heroism, because of what he's done in the past and what Rita Repulsa is still trying to manipulate him into doing. And this is just, it's incredible. I am thoroughly enjoying it. So the graphic novel that I'm excited to read, I purchased volume 2 of this recently. In addition to this, I also, so the new movie that's coming out on Friday, they actually have a comic series, or like a graphic novel that is a direct sequel to after the events of the first movie, and I bought that as well. It's going to be like, I thought it was just going to be like a single issue. It's actually going to be another like trade paperback, and so I bought that in addition to volume 2 of this, and I'm very excited, because if you guys have not heard, and this isn't necessarily a spoiler because it doesn't really spoil the plot of the movie, but for those of you who don't know or aren't aware, the new Power Rangers movie has queer representation in it, with Trini, the Yellow Ranger, who has been my favorite Ranger for so long. I cannot wait for this. Oh my god. And the Blue Ranger, Billy, is on the autistic spectrum. And this representation and diversity amongst the main characters is so incredible. I'm so excited for that. And so, of course, I was going to read the sequel graphic novel anyways, but just knowing now that these are the Power Rangers now in this movie, that is just so important. I am very excited and very looking forward to reading these Power Rangers comics that I'm going to be receiving at like the end of March. Question number 4, the last question. What is your favorite graphic novel? And I really don't... Let's see. What do we go with? No. Huh. So, just for the sake of giving a different answer, because my answer would be seconds, I'm going to actually say that the Scott Pilgrim series is my favorite. Because why not? I have to go get them. Hold on. Okay. So, there aren't 12 books in the series. Okay, so, I mean, part of being a collector, I enjoy having the original and special edition of the thing, and these in particular I think look really great together. So like I have the original, I have the hardcover color editions because Nathan Fairbairn is like an incredible colorist. I love his coloring with Brian Lee O'Malley's inking. It's incredible. So I have Scott Pilgrim Volume 1, the color edition, Scott Pilgrim Volume 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the last one. And then I have the Evil X editions. So this one, it has the Evil X in the first. So I guess, okay, so the series is Scott Pilgrim meets Ramona Flowers, and he really wants to date her, but in order for him to achieve being in a relationship with her, she tells him that he has to first defeat her 7 evil exes, past relationships. So each book sort of follows the path of him defeating one of her, or him going up against one of her evil exes. So the Evil X editions have the X on the cover, and then the back is the original front cover, and then the spine is black as opposed to yellow. So I have volume 1 of that, and they're the exact same books inside, just different covers. Volume 2, volume 3, volume 4. Don't fall, please. You're my babies. Volume 5, and the last one, volume 6. I mean, the art is incredible. The story is great. Part of why I like Scott Pilgrim so much is because there's not necessarily, like, everyone's in their 20s, and they're all just kind of trying to figure out life, and it's very realistic in that sense, because, I mean, that's me right now for sure, and I really, really love it for that. And I think these 2 editions right next to each other look fantastic on my shelf, for sure. So I'll go with Scott Pilgrim as my favorite graphic novel series. And that's the end of the tag. I had a lot of fun doing this. I tag anybody else who wants to do this. By all means, go for it. Answer these 4 questions however you want. You can include comics, graphic novels, web comics. I don't care. It's incredible to hear any of those things. I loved talking about all of these, and I think this was a really good first step into showing what my tastes are. In case anybody's curious, my plan, at least as of right now, is to get out 1 video a week. I didn't want to go overboard and try to do like, oh, I'm going to do like 7 videos a week. I just think 1 video a week is chill. But that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks again so much for all of the heartwarming, welcoming comments I got in my first video. I'm still floored that was the response that I received. You are all so nice. This community is incredible so far, and I haven't even gotten started. And I really appreciate you watching this video. I don't really know how to sign off my videos yet. I really feel just saying bye, like I'll see you next time. So, I'll see you next time.